Okay, please tell me why you came to Ashland.
Oh, for the town with the education system in Hanover, and it was convenient to North Richmond. And the Richmond school systems had gone down, 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 and had 4 children. And I felt like it was a good community. I'd known about it.
So you came with your 4 children, anybody
My
else?
wife.
And your wife? What community or neighborhood did you first live in?
Up here. I moved in Thanksgiving Day 1971 at Cubs Lane, right about 100 yards outside of the town.
So what attracted you to the school systems here, specifically compared to Richmond?
Small classes, they had good reputation. When I came, each of my children were in a different school. One was in Patrick Henry, Liberty, Gandy, and that, and I enjoyed it. I believe in the public school system, and Richmond was too many of them in the neighborhoods were going to private schools and getting away from it, and I thought the public school system up here was very good.
So you mentioned education. In what ways did having this college in the town affect your life?
The decision to move up here? Nothing, not much on it. Tell you, the funny thing that attracted me, which you don't have now, is transportation. My wife doesn't drive. She could catch a bus down the railroad tracks to Richmond, or she could catch Greyhound on Route 1.
So do you make use of the train often, train services?
No, because the train, well, I've caught it twice, I think once to Boston, once to Washington, but going to Richmond, it would get you further away. You're closer to downtown Richmond from here than you are from the station out on Staples Mill Road.
Tell me about your current neighborhood. Please describe it for me.
Oh, it's a subdivision with about 20 houses in it being built. What I liked about it, it had plenty of children in there. When we moved there, I guess about 10 years, we had about 20 kids all around playing. Thing I liked about it was similar to where I moved from. Your kids could walk to the theater, to the Little League field. It was all very congenial, people getting along with each other. And we could build a house on about 3/4 of an acre. What else do you want to know about it?
Do you have any relatives that live nearby?
Well, 3 of my children's family lives here now. But when I moved up here, no. My brother lived in Northern Neck, and my mother was in Halifax County. The friend that lived next door to me in North Richmond lived in the same subdivision. Is what made me go to that one. I saw it and got my house built from there.
So, tell me what has changed within your lifetime concerning the community as far as physical appearance is concerned.
Well, I think for the best, there's been a lot of growth. When I came here, Route 1 in 54 was just open fields. You have got the shopping centers there. We used to laugh when our kids were in high school, if they wanted to go to a quote McDonald's, there was no such thing here. They had to ride all the way into Richmond to Celebrity Room or something. But a lot of the conveniences, a lot of the old timers don't like it up here, but it's good for the young families and all the stores and such here. It's a shame that the theater, not enough people to keep it running, that they can use it and all, but I don't think the growth has been that bad in the town.
Did you ever personally go to the theater when it was on operation?
Yeah. Well, my wife talks about coming up here in the summertime 50, 60 years ago to the theater, and we used to go over there. I think the funniest thing was Dr. Zhivago. We saw it one night after we moved up here, and the people were going up and down the aisle. The children were on Saturday night, and Miss Covington, she walked down at the intermission, and she says, "The popcorn stand is closing, and I'm locking the bathroom, so when the movie starts, sit down." You don't get that at the big shopping malls today, but that was hometown.
Have you had any other experiences with interesting individuals in the community?
Well, it was a pleasure meeting Dr. Moreland, who was president of the college at the time. He wasn't president, he was retired. I'd pick him up on Sunday morning, bringing the church over here, and just hearing his stories and all was very nice on that. Meeting Dick Gillis, and I thought one of the finest people that just recently died, she came up here about the same time we did, was Nana Peace. She was an unusual person. Very good. I mean, I think people got after her because she stood up for what she believed and said it.
What did she believe in?
Well, she was a good lawyer, and when the courts told the people they wanted them to do certain things with the social services and all, she'd file her up to be sure it was being done and not. She was good.
I know the interview is being taken place in Duncan Memorial right now. How has this church had an impact on your life?
Well, I've been a Methodist since I married my wife. When I met her, 16, didn't marry her till I was 20, and it's been very good for the children. The programs at the church, and we've been blessed with very good ministers. They've changed, and they have had very good programs for the youth. I'm more concerned with the youth than otherwise. I've worked hard in Little League and worked with a children's program here, and give them a place on it. I think they have been very conscious of the needs for youth here. They've always said they've been interested since we've been here on the college, but that's a hard age to get to come to church. I mean, they've finally gotten a little freedom at age 20 or 19 when they come here and go, and we've offered several programs, but it's very good. The scout troop that they've run through here, I was real happy on that. I helped that start back up in 79.
Tell me some more about your experiences with the scout troops.
You tested my memory. When I first came up here, they had one and with very few people in it. And then about 76 or 77, the Kiwanis Club was a sponsor, but they felt like that the troop didn't have enough kids to sign on, that they had the minimum, so they did without the troop for a couple of years. And then Les Dukes, who's going to be on one of your interviews or something, I wrote something for the Scouts. He and my oldest son, Willie Herbert, started the troop up in 79 and started back up. And I was more or less working with the troop committee, heading it up, and we were very fortunate in getting very good scout leaders for the young men. They've been very active. One of the best things on the Scouts here, and it was researched recently, the War Memorial, or the big building over by Henry Clay School, some jockey at Camptown couldn't ride his horse and fell off of it and sued, and the town, the school board had to buy it back. But in the deed, it states that the Boy Scout troop has lifetime use of one of it in there. And every Monday night, Instead of the school going to asking us what days do we need it as such, they know that they've got the rights to use it on the night. And not many scout troops have the facilities like that. When it rains, they can do anything in there. We've been very good with the church, with good leaders in it and all. Then the troop now is about 40 to 50 young men, which is unusual. They go camping, rain or shine or snow or sleet, about once a month. And you can see the plaque in the hall back here that we finally got put up. We've got right many Eagle Scouts, and they earn it when they get it. We just don't pass them on that. What other question on that can I help you with? I'm not giving you too much answers, but go ahead.
What do you feel about your church's role in affairs in the community?
I think the church here, I noticed in the past from a secretary, they felt like it was one of the leaders in the neighborhood because this building is used a whole lot by the community for different programs in the evenings and such for them. And I think that's needed very much with them. They help with the variety show and letting them have the facilities here and such, because Blackwell Hall doesn't have but so many dressing rooms that they could use all. And I think the Duncan Memorial is very conscious of the community and wanting to integrate it in. Sometimes it gets a little overcrowded with the facilities and a limited income on it, but they use it. The college uses it right much. The beginning of the year, our Andrews and them used to have some meetings around. You know that the sanctuary was built by the Methodist Conference for the Randolph-Macon. Randolph-Macon a few years back weren't having too many students and such using it, so they leased it to the church here for about $10, I think, for 100 years. And so we're now custodians of the sanctuary. We're supposed to, y'all can take the lease back. We're supposed to keep the outside in keeping with the rest of the campus. And the college has got priority, like I was talking about the Boy Scouts, that if they need it for baccalaureate or something, we will make different changes for them on that.
That's very interesting. I didn't know that before.
Yeah, this is the only building that's basically owned by the church outright. Duncan Memorial, and the parking lot belongs to the college. Shh, don't tell everybody.
I think we were informed that you worked for the town council. Am I correct? No.
My son was mayor for about 2 years and on the council for 4 years. I worked with the council whenever they asked me to, but I've not been on town council, if that's what you're asking. Tommy Herbert was. Mm-hmm. And I think the town would have liked to have dipped him in tar at the time. He was mayor when they passed Walmart coming up here. I think the town's got a high income thought, and they're not thinking of some of the lower income that enjoy the prices and things that Walmart has to offer. I think that was one of the themes, that they're scared of the low income. I use it about 3 times a week.
So did you have a particular stance when the Walmart came?
I was in favor of it. I mean, they said Walmart was going to put a lot of people out of business up here. I can only name one out of business, and they should have gone out before. But U-Crops, I've known when the daddy owned it in South Richmond. U-Crops has replaced the bank. They've replaced the pharmacists up here. They've had more of an impact of putting people out of business that the town won't say because they think of the otherwise. No, I think Walmart has been a good citizen on giving to the community, just as U-Crops has been. I think that Walmart and U-Crops and them are part of the growth that you said. What have I noticed? The big change in Ashland. When we were first up here, the first one to build a department store was People's. Yes, it was Stone and Woods after we'd gotten up here. But in the growth with the people around there, you've had all of these shopping centers. And if anybody's gotten hurt by U-Crops or the food line, and it was Cross's Market on the tracks, because they're doing good business. Their store is as much as old Ashland as it could be.
So what do you feel about these old Ashland businesses such as Cross Brothers?
I feel like Cross Brothers has been a very good citizen, helping the people. I think that a lot of times people will start things up and they'll block them on shopping on weekends and such. But I wish that Cross and them had a better chance to do more business, because they're very fine people. I wish that when I first came up here, there's 1, 2, and I want to say 3, but I know of 2 drugstores on the railroad tracks. They're gone. But you had the pharmacists with them, Hughes, Blair, and such. U-Crops finally covered one of them. Some of them have been sold to Rite Aid had bought the rights to one of them, and CVS. I don't know whereabouts in Mechanicsville you live, but you got a very fine pharmacist there across from a windmill, but it's a little different than going into a CVS store or something. They've changed, and they've been lucky that U-Crops, when they went for the pharmacy, they hired local people out of the other pharmacists, which helped them a whole lot. The manager of Walmart, you know where he graduated from school?
Where did he graduate?
He graduated from Randolph-Macon. Can you believe that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's very proud of it. And he doesn't call it Walmart that he's a manager of. It's Ashland's Walmart, he calls it. So he's very proud to be locally here with it too. You get an education. I'll go over and talk to the president and see if he can give you a few credits for this.
Thank you. Do you know of any other distinguished graduates from Randolph-Macon or anything of the sort?
That's like asking them my name. My brother-in-law graduated from, no, he didn't graduate. He went 2 years and dropped out. Went to VCU. But I think one of the finest people that I knew at the college here was Hugh Stevens. He was the athletic director when we moved up here, and he was the baseball coach. He was a fine gentleman, and his wife still lives in the community. She's equal as well. Paul Webb was the basketball coach, and he got big ideas and went to Old Dominion on it. And Jim Blackburn coached the football team along with what's the guy's name? I have a good time kidding him on Sunday mornings. Ooh, it'll come to me when I get home tonight. You want me to call you and tell you?
Sure thing.
Ted Keller. With the limited funds that they all had up here on things, I think they've done good with the coaches. I was coaching a girls' basketball team. I worked very, very hard with the youth leagues here a long time ago. And I threatened them if they didn't let me have a girls' basketball team, I'd make them play with the boys. And so I had mine, and Cindy, and this was when Luther White was president, and he was good. I think they let Billy Woods, who's now athletic director up at Caroline County, lives down here about 3 houses. He was coaching the girls, and my junior high and high school girls were playing Randolph-Macon for practice and all because they didn't have enough start. And I think the college did give Billy 1 basketball at the time. See, I'm looking out for you girls. But it was interesting, and the little league over there had grown over the years.
What do you think about the current sports at Randolph-Macon and its effect on the community?
You don't want to ask me that. I support it very good mentally, but I haven't been to a basketball game over than 10 or 15 years. But I think they've done a very good job. They've had a good program for them. The basketball team now is doing better than the football team, I think, and they're rebuilding that, and they're doing very good. But it's given having it up here has given a touch to the people to know that, hey, there is lacrosse other than at University of Virginia or up in Maryland or somewhere, that there are other things. The girls softball team too. Mr. Prophet runs a good team over there, but I think it adds to it. But the games go very good. Jack Luck is a very good supporter of the athletic program here. I don't know if y'all have gotten to talk to him, but I think he goes to every one of the programs, takes up tickets, and when y'all go to the finals, he goes up to there. But good program.
So, what do you do for fun in Ashland?
What I do for fun? I've got 11 grandchildren, 9 of them here now. I enjoy playing with them, working with them with the youth. I guess my biggest activity other than church, I was in most offices here in the church over the years, but gotten up in age, I want some of the younger people taking over. But I enjoyed the Little League, watching the kids play, and that. Is that type of question you were asking? Yeah, I've seen more Little League games than the president of the college has seen games over here for y'all. I mean, I've followed that for years on it. And I enjoy seeing the young people, you Amanda and such from the college, the activities, and y'all are not as bad as some of them make it up here. Y'all behave pretty good. Now, y'all may not like that answer, but you do.
Thank you. What do you think of maybe the townspeople's beliefs or thoughts about college students and their behaviors?
I've never heard any negative talk about them. I think that it would be nicer if there was more interaction with them, but I think that the college kids, the only complaint I have about the college kids, it's exit on Friday. It's not many college kids. If y'all hang around up here, you don't have many of your friends left on it. But I think that I would say that I've never heard any negative. I wish there was more of the support, like when they have a strawberry fair over there. I think the college supports the community very well. In other words, letting them use the facilities over there for the strawberry fair and for using Blackwell Hall. I think that works together, and I think it helps the two playing together. Very rare you see the two intertwined. I'm saying, do you see much of the interaction with the kids up here in the town people?
Besides in the businesses, not really.
Mm-hmm. In the businesses, you see them where? I think what tickles me, I didn't realize I could get a full-blown, all-you-can-eat lunch for less than $5 over here at the college. And I've been over there 4 or 5 times in the past 6 months, I guess. But why does a kid want to go over to U-Crops and eat a salad or a pizza when they can eat over there for nothing? From the outside, the food looks very good to me on it. And no, if I don't. Of course, y'all have gotten out of your house, and you don't want mama and papa around with a lot of the college kids, don't. So I think it's good, but I don't think I think y'all have been an asset to the town. I think that some of the buying you see up here, I don't know how much it would help, but I'm sure y'all add a lot to the economy, buying in different places and such. On it. Ira Andrews, I knew before I moved up here. I had him teaching class at the church in Richmond, and he's done a lot to keep the people together up here. What do you think that could help add to the town with the college kids? She came from an area close to you. Hampton's a little bigger. What church in Hampton did you go to?
I went to Northside and Newport News.
I didn't know whether you knew Ed Wright when I came up here. He was a pastor here, and I think he went to a church across from a shipyard. And I enjoyed Ed when I got here. I was asking that to see, you know, if it was any of the people from here.
You mentioned the Strawberry Festival Fair. Could you describe that more for me?
You haven't been around too much in the 1st of June after May. Amanda's smiling. She may know something about it from Mechanicsville. They used to take the area over by back of Peel Hall. Is that what it is? Over there by the fountain. And they'd have 100 or so vendors up here. And people from around the state, North Carolina, Maryland, would come and sell quilts, trinkets that they made on that. And it was started because I think the Strawberry Farm up north of town here was the one that had the idea and sell the strawberries. And they have a lot of booths for the local ones to make, the Boy Scouts. I could sell 1,600 sausages and hot dogs within about 4 hours on a Saturday. They made money, and then they had a stage over there that they had either the choirs from some of the black churches or the other churches to sing, and a lot of festival. I suggest that you stay up here that weekend when they have it. And I know that they came by the office the other day. My son's talking to them about the insurance and some other that they'll have it. They've moved it from over by the fountain. I shouldn't say by the fountain over there, because on a rainy weekend we'd tear up too much of the ground. Too many people walking. Several thousand would come. But now they have it out here on Henry Street, up and down. It's all right, but it's not the same as walking, tromping down your azaleas and your flowers, I guess is that. But did I say about right on the Strawberry Fair? They had a lot of things to sell. The Boy Scouts would sell sausages. The church, I think one of the churches would sell strawberry shortcake. Some of them would go up and buy strawberries and sell those out in that way. It's sort of like Gloucester, which way you have the Oyster Festival and that down a little north of Newport News and such on a smaller scale. But it was a lot of fun. I guess you got some of y'all hanging around, but you're more older people over there, the ladies with little things they made. So a lot of, I wish it was more back to the homemade, but they get after you with the health department that they've gone more to vendors that work different fairs. You know, the people here would have his sausages and on it. And that I used to enjoy cooking the sausage because we were one of the only booths that would cook onions with it. And you know, at the state fair, if you smelt the onions, you knew where to go.
How long has this been taking place here in Ashland?
God. Let's see, Tommy was in the Boy Scouts about 25 years, I'd say, if not more. And she doesn't know about it from Newport News. I'm going to talk to the president and not take those credits away that I told her that she could get. We got to make a Hanoverian out of her, don't we?
We do.
But it's enjoyable. The homemade ice cream, at some of them, I think, and it's just a lot of fun. The ladies are already decided what cakes they're gonna make for the cake sale out front when they got, and it helps. It helps a lot of the local people like that, and of course a lot of the people selling the things. The money comes into the Strawberry Fair. They pay for the booths, and it's going back into the community with different charities. I think one of the big charities, they help with Hanover Arts and Activity down there on the tracks, and it supports many different little things like that. They moved it back. Usually it's after graduation. They had it the weekend before, right after graduation or such before, and with all the students moving out of the dormitories, it was chaos. So now they get rid of the students and bring in the fair people so that you're not having people blocking the kids coming down the steps with a trunk in their hand or something coming out the door.
Definitely going to have to bring my family up here.
Yes, they would enjoy it. In fact, one of my daughter-in-law's family comes down from Maryland for a couple of times. They enjoy the crafts and such there. It's the train will run from Richmond to here. They'll let them off on a special thing. It's a pretty big deal.
Are there any other kinds of carnivals or big events here? I know there was a parade around Christmas time.
Well, yeah, they have the Christmas parade. Kiwanis Clubs gets behind that and works with it. It's a highlight. I was Santa Claus one year on a parade. And it's a difference when you look down at the kids and they look at you like, man, it must be. You feel great. Then we had a 4th of July parade that they started up after that. No motors. Everybody has to walk or ride a bicycle maybe in the parade. And that only goes about 4 or 5 blocks from Henry Clay Inn down to Arts and Activity on it. First 2 or 3 years they had, I enjoyed Keith Myers, one of them used to have a basset brigade. If you had a basset hound, you could walk in a parade with your hound. And now I think they got a lot of other dogs in the parade. They do have one coming up, I think, for Memorial Day, that the American Legion has some of its parade or something on it. I think that Ashland has now become a mecca for racetrack running. They had the 10K and some of the others that you race on the railroad tracks, the joggers and such on that. And we enjoy that on it. I think it's more than that because it looks like about every weekend for a while that you don't want to drive out before 9 o'clock because people are blocking the roads while they're walking and such on it. The Little League has its ball fields down there, and the nicer thing around here for the young people and older ones is the Poor Farm, which has got about 4 big size ball fields, about 10 or 12 soccer fields and everything else like that. So a lot of the Little League has moved out that way. Like